Right, YouTube, Shadow King Nazru, and I'm here to talk about the whole Dragon Ball Super Manga thing. Now, if you've been following me for the past few years, you know I do not think fondly of the Dragon Ball Super Manga done by Toyotaro. In fact, I've even gone so far to say I hate it and said some very colorful things about it that some people might not approve of. But I think some people don't understand just how damaging Toyotaro's manga is to the Dragon Ball brand and to Toriyama's legacy. But I did find this good Tumblr post from a friend of mine, Danny D World. So special thanks to him. And I want to read it because I feel like it totally encapsulates the whole issue. Okay, so he basically got a question, what he thought about this whole Dragon Ball Super manga with this Moro arc thing. Personally, I think the Moro saga started off with potential, but it got wasted because due to Toyoto's writing, he's not a good writer, and he just complained about it, and he just asked Danny what his thoughts on it, and it starts off right here. So I'm going to be completely honest here. No, I don't. This arc is wholesale uninspired and almost seems to serve exclusively as an excuse to wank Vegeta, padded out for retreads of past arcs. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that because right now Vegeta is soloing the main villain Moro. Again, he's got like this new technique um, that weakens Moro, despite the fact that Moro was able to keep up with Ultra Instinct Omen, not the completed version of Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of weight towards Vegeta, and it does recycle the past because there are some moments in the latest chapter that are recycling parts from the Buu saga, like saying that Vegeta knows that he's going to hell and accepts it, or Vegeta's a changed person. He's no longer this cold-hearted warrior that thinks of himself. We've already been through this in the Buu saga. It just undermines the ending of the Buu saga, where Vegeta gets revived by Purunga because the wish was to bring back all the good people, or mostly good people. And Vegeta was brought back because he had redeemed himself and became a relatively good person. Uh, it's just, not to mention it's taking stuff from Resurrection F, like an invading army coming in with these criminals, and the B team of Z fighters had to fend it off, including like Android 17 and 18. So a lot of people try to make this comment that it feels like this is like what if Resurrection F happened, but this time Vegeta saves the day. Oh god! And the villain Moro takes elements from the androids with the whole absorbing energy, albeit he does it through magic, and he wants to regain his youth. So basically, he's like King Piccolo, and if you want to add that non-canon movie, Lord Slug, just shows what a lack of imagination Toyotaro has. He really is like the Jar Jar Abrams from Star Trek and Star Wars. Just complete lack of imagination. Let's continue. It takes heavily from the King Piccolo, the Frieza saga, and even a bit from Buu, while having little to nothing of what made those arcs interesting or compelling. Yeah, that's basically what I just said. As for his writing, that's pretty much how Toyotaro operates. He includes side characters only when absolutely necessary or when required to appear by Toriyama's outline, and then immediately sidelines the ones he doesn't care about as quickly as possible. His portrayal of them is so ridiculously one-dimensional that it's insulting. And really, that goes for his depictions of Goku and Bulma as well. Goku is simply overtly stupid and a brute who struggles to learn, and Bulma is reduced to more or less the soldier wife trope, constantly waiting and worrying for him, pinning for his return. Hell, Toyotaro even made Pilaf smarter than her now. I can kind of say that. I've made complaints that Goku has been written out of character by Toyotaro, and despite the fact that a lot of the fans of Toyotaro's manga try to say that Goku's smarter than he is in there than he is in the anime, which is complete bullcrap. I've seen signs of him acting stupid. Um, even in this chapter, like saying that because of Vegeta's new technique, that he somehow surpassed him, but he'll surpass him again, despite the fact that he's not strong. Vegeta's not any stronger. He's just using a special technique, and Goku's got Ultra Instinct Omen, which he can go into at will, so he's still stronger than Vegeta. And as for saying that the whole Bulma thing, I can't really comment on that because I kind of dropped the Dragon Ball Super Manga, and I only just like follow like plot points from other videos. But I wouldn't put it past Toyotaro. He's definitely sidelined characters. Just look at what he did with the Tournament of Power, where we had the chance to get all the Z fighters fight and show what they're made of and get some good moments, like we did in the anime version of the Tournament of Power. But instead, we got Krillin and Tien knocked out before they could do anything by Frost. And that's just one example. And he also disrespects them, like having Goku say that Krillin's best contribution towards the Tournament of Power would be him running away. This is your friend that you've known for decades, and he has proven himself in fights before, even when the odds were stacked against him. You should know that Krillin can hold his own when the chips require it. Oh God, I hate Toyotaro and his writing. It's terrible. Let's continue, shall we? The only character that seems to get any sort of quote unquote, fleshing out is Vegeta, and even that is in all the wrong ways. Vegeta is now sunny, almost kind, willing to instigate and continue friendly conversations with the others, running over with the joy at the sight of his newborn, exclaiming with pure joy how happy he is to see his girl, willing to sit and learn from others and retain what they teach him, even if it goes against his long-held beliefs about strength and power. And according to Toyotaro, at least the one and only to lay it all on the line every time. Okay, now that's just insulting. We've had plenty of characters that have tried to lay it down on the line. What about when Goku tried to put everything he had just to fight Frieza in the Frieza saga and put an end to his tyranny? Or what about Piccolo when he fought against Imperfect Cell? Despite being outmatched, he tried to do it. What about Team Shihan when he fought Semi-Perfect Cell? And tried to use the Kiko Ho just to buy Android 18 some time so she could escape and Cell wouldn't be able to get his perfect form back then. Just so many other examples. To say that Vegeta is the only one who puts everything on the line is one of the most insulting, ignorant things a Dragon Ball fan can say. And I honestly am disgusted by the sheer fact that he's supposed to be Toriyama's heir, and he doesn't get it. He doesn't get Dragon Ball. As I've said numerous times, if once Toriyama is gone and he stops writing Dragon Ball's gonna have a really bleak future. It's gonna be on par with like The Last of Us 2 or Game of Thrones Season 8 or The Last Jedi. Oh God. And we're going to the last paragraph. This is the problem with the man. He writes bad fanfic to wank his favorite character, period. Even though the anime was still very much the Goku show, really the Goku and Vegeta show, at least side characters got love. They got personalities. They had lives we got to see. Tien had his farm and dojo. Krillin had his job as a police officer, and his family have their own home. He has a character arc where he has to overcome his PTSD. Dende's been taking his role as Kami very seriously. Bulma is still very much Bulma, still always inventing and trying to learn. Goten's becoming more mature and independent. Trunks has a crush on a girl for the first time, and even the Pilaf gang is getting some personality. Toyotaro just doesn't care to give it. Kind of sad, really. Yeah, I can totally agree with that. We definitely got to see some of these things. We got to see Krillin doing his job ever since the resurrection of F Saga, and see it every now and then. And we did get to see that mini arc where he tried to go over his PTSD of being killed by previous antagonists of the Dragon Ball series, and that was a really good thing. It was really good character development. Seeing Tien get the farm in the dojo, which were things that were incorporated from Dragon Ball Online. It really shows that just because these characters aren't fighting doesn't mean their stories are completely over. We're still getting to see some development. But it's just the sad part is that people don't care about that. They just want to see the fights. And they want to see Vegeta and Gohan get wanked. Despite the fact they would be out of character, or despite the fact they would hurt the series in the long run. I hope you understand just where we're coming from and just see why Toyotaro was not the right person to be carrying on Toriyama's legacy and continuing Dragon Ball. I mean, he's a good artist, relatively speaking. Sometimes he traces, but I mean, his art is competent. But that's about it. When it comes to his writing, it's nothing but glorified fan fiction. That's all I want to talk about. I'll catch you guys later.